so much, Dr. Joyce. He has left. Thank you so much for inviting us to this beautiful resort of yours. And we're very excited to also be part of your inaugural Indo-Kenya relationship. And excellencies who are here from other African countries, I recognize all of you. And so I will present this. Who's going to take it down? Hello. Next. So India and Kenya, we enjoy very close and cordial relations that go back historical times. And there is a strong presence of a vibrant Indian community in Kenya, numbering over 100,000, who have distinguished themselves very well in the country in various professions. And so India is a very important economic partner and falls within the category of the top 10 major trading partners of Kenya. India is Kenya's third biggest source of imports and is 18th overall as a destination for exports. So India ranks Kenya as one of its major trading partners in Africa. Next. So this is an overview of the statistics between Kenya ranging from 2012 to 2022. And as you can see, the exports in US millions have actually, 2021 went up, but it has gone down in 2022, up from $85.9 million in 2018. And on the other side of imports, we're seeing a very serious imbalance of trade, because you can see the imports are increasing over the years, and that is a very key issue that we want to address as we do this, because we want to balance the trade between the two countries. So what does the 10 top imports products that Kenya imports? Medicine, consisting of mixed and unmixed products, semi-finished products of iron and non-iron alloy steel, petroleum oils, and oils obtained bituminous minerals, that is excluding crude, rice, motorcycles, that is including mopeds, cycle fitted with auxiliary motor, with or without sidecars, tractors, uncoated paper and paperboard of kind used for writing, printing and other graphic purposes, food preparations, motor vehicles for transport, and human blood, animal blood, prepared for therapeutic or notice uses. And I would also add that we also just recently signed an agreement between Kenya and India for the importation of avocados from Kenya. And now the top 10 exports. So we have carbonates, we have tea, whether or not flavored, we have dried legumes, vegetables, shelled with or without skin, wool, extracts, essentials and concentrates of coffee, tea, and made preparations, petroleum oils, unwrought zinc, waste scrap, aluminum, articles of zinc, waste and scrap of copper. So I hope, just hold on, don't scrap, don't go to the next one. You can see these are the top 10 exports from Kenya. And of course, this is a business forum. This will be a lot of interest to all of you. So why invest in Kenya? Kenya is a gateway to the Eastern and Central Africa. Its strategical location accords it preferential access to regional and international markets. You can see where Kenya is situated on the map. It's very strategical. It has a sea line, and the other opportunities at a glance is that the age structure, as you can also see, that people between 36 and 64 years are about 21%, and most of the people are actually, over 70% of Kenyans are below the age of 64 years. So the official language is English, and our political system is devolved state with multi-party democracy. And this is important because as businessmen, you're going to be able to come to Kenya and engage with units of counties and not necessarily the national unit. That makes it easier for bilateral agreements with smaller states. Let's go. So, Kenya serves as the communications and logistics hub of the region with access to regional transport, as I was saying. So we have air transport. We have 4 international airports, Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and Eldoret. We have 2 strategic ports, Mombasa and Lamu. We have an extensive Indian Ocean, as I said before, and the state-of-the-art inland container ports at Nairobi and Naivasha. We have a standard gauge railway that runs 30 freight and 2 passenger services daily between Nairobi and Mombasa, and of course, availability of factory space in the industrial zones, that is the Naivasha, which targeting textile and apparel companies. And of course, cheap power for spinners, textiles, and fabric dryers and finishers. I will not go into that. I think this is, if you come to the office, we can unpack all these figures because that will make sense. Next. So as I said earlier, there's a large pool of youthful, productive, and skilled workforce. Out of a population of 54 million, the median age is 20 years. Literacy, 81.5%. 43 universities in the country. Of course, that means high labor productivity in Kenya is drawn from this very high pool of highly trained and also trainable and illiterate workforce. So we want to combine our talents with yours. And so Kenya welcomes all expatriates to operate and manage critical aspects of their business. And Kenya's combination of transport, choice of housing, education, access to outdoor leisure activities makes it a very attractive overseas destination for expatriates. So Kenya has signed, of course, just like Ethiopia, all these preferential trade agreements. And the top Kenyan product destination for Kenyan products is Uganda, US, Netherlands, Pakistan, UK, UAE, Tanzania, Rwanda, Egypt, China, and others. So, bilateral agreements, like most of all African countries, is AGOA, EPA, COMESA, and AFCFTA. So, of course, there are key steps in the ease of doing business in Kenya. So, we have reduced the number of steps from 2012, which was 170, to 2019 to date, which is only 56. And recently the president also is launching a one-stop shop so that anybody that wants to do business in Africa can be able to just do one step and be able to engage. And the key reforms, as I said, the presidential roundtable with private sector to address emerging issues. There's a cabinet committee on ease of doing business, what I've just been mentioning, and they're actually in the final step. And I talked about the one-stop shop service to provide seamless support to investors. And we have digitized our government services on one platform that is called eCitizen. Every single thing that you require, you can do it on your phone. You can get your licenses on the phone, you can pay your bills on the phone. So we've really digitized the government services to ensure that it's seamless. And of course, we have to be able to ensure the safety of the investment, and it is guaranteed in Kenya. Why? We have a vibrant capital markets, we have an effective monetary policy, and so your investment guarantees, number one, is Kenya's Foreign Investment Protection Act that allows for repatriation of profits, capital, or interest after payment of the relevant taxes, principals, and interest. We are also protected against exploitation of private property as provided in the Constitution of Kenya. And Kenya ranked first globally in protection of minority investor in the Global Competitive Index. And Kenya is a signatory to the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, which is a multilateral investment guarantee agency, and the Africa Trade Insurance Agency, which will guarantee the safety of your Yeah. And I think, as you can see, Kenya has an excellent ecosystem with a high number of multinationals setting up their regional and continent-wide headquarters in our country. And I can tell you Coca-Cola is there, headquartered, Diego is there, IBM, Google, LG, Cisco, Hawaii, Volkswagen, Toyota, Peugeot, Standard Chartered. All these have their headquarters in Kenya. And that is a really good sense of FDI, but also the confidence that they have in managing their businesses in Kenya. So what are the investment opportunities that I can actually go through? Okay, it's diverse and rich. We're talking about tourism, oil and gas, manufacturing, business process offshoring, IT-enabled services, of course other financial services, blue economy, trade, and agriculture. So Kenya's Vision 2030 is a long-term blueprint that aims at transforming Kenya in a newly industrialized middle-income country by the year 2030. So these numerous opportunities, in all the 8 priority sectors, are enablers that ensure that we meet our vision in 2030, and they are categorized in infrastructure, energy, technical skilling. So what are the immediate priorities as a business person by the end of 2022? Actually, this has gone on into 2023. Is in the manufacturing sector, food and nutrition, universal healthcare, and affordable new houses. These have become the key priority areas by the government, and so most of the business opportunities are going to be around these 4 key sectors. So in manufacturing, so the objective is to raise the share of the sector to GDP from the current 8.3 to 15%, and I'm going to use 2023, not 2022 as indicated there. So there is textile and apparel, leather processing, manufacturing of construction materials and equipment, heavy industries, and ICT products and services. Okay? In affordable housing, the objective is to develop an innovative affordable housing, about 500,000 units, and increase real estate and construction sector GDP from the current 7 to 14%. So as you can see, 22% of Kenyans live in the cities, and so Kenya has a deficit of 250,000 housing units annually. And this low-cost housing is a skill sector that I know many people, investors from India, will really be wanting to know more about, and we can discuss this after my presentation. And so the opportunities are in industrial park, scalable low-cost construction technology, financing of affordable homes, engaging in joint ventures with county governments. As I told you, we not only deal at a national level, but Kenya is a devolved country with the counties, and construction of operation and social and commercial amenities. So office blocks, railway, retail chains, and all the rest. There's an incentive though, that there's a 15% corporate tax for developers of 100 low-cost residential units and above. So the government will give a 15% incentive, corporate tax incentive for anybody that does more than 100 units. So in the agriculture and agro processing, there are, of course, fisheries, sugar, agriculture support services, vegetable and food processing, and I want to also emphasize the newly avocado, the recent Hass avocado that is also now being sent to India, tuber crops for human food, and production of agricultural inputs. These are the key investment opportunities around agriculture and agro-processing. So in the health and pharmaceutical sector, of course, which Pune is known to be the hub of pharmaceutical investors and health sectors, the key objective is to ensure a universal, 100% universal coverage, and to target 35 million people. Because you see the current health coverage is 16 million, but want to upscale it to 35 million. So the opportunities are to enhance low-cost private insurance, private provision of medical commodities and equipment, digitization of healthcare, manufacture of medical supplies, manufacture and distribution of API, commercial processing of traditional medicines. Kenya has a diverse flora. So these are the key sectors in the health sector. And in the renewable energy sector, we are looking at wind energy, solar, biomass, geothermal, hydro, and biogas as the key areas. If any investor around renewable energy, these are the key opportunities that are available in Kenya. And of course, why come to Kenya? There are incentives in the EPZ zones. There's a 10-year corporate tax holiday, 25% for the next 10 years, and 30% thereafter. There's a 10-year withholding tax holiday on remittances to non-residents. There's a 100% investment deduction allowance on building and machinery. There's a perpetual exemption from payment of stamp duty on any legal instruments. And there is a perpetual exemption from tax, from VAT and custom import duty on raw materials. And we really make sure that the incentives are amazing if you want to invest in the EPZ zone. And there are other incentives, which there are quite many in other zones, which are this presentation hopefully will be given to the business activity, because I'm not supposed to talk for 15 minutes. And so these are the key incentives that you may be very interested in coming to Kenya. And of course, I think the ICT is another investment opportunity. And we're talking about increased connectivity. There's 4G, there's corporate IT, and cybersecurity. So there's a place called the Techno City, which is a Kenya Vision 2030 flagship that consists of 5,000 acres of forecasting that is operated. We welcome you, and Dr. Jayesh. Thank you so much again for the opportunity.